Holy fucking hell, guys. I think I would have had an easier time performing surgery on myself while unconscious than making this fucking list. This is my top 30 metal albums of all time. It's going to be split into three parts because I'm going to ramble, and I'm well aware of it because I fucking love every one of these albums. Every one of these albums is a 10 out of 10, 100% perfect record in my opinion. Um, and that's all these are opinions. So, in a fucking month, this album or this list could look 100% different. Might not be. I don't know. But as of right now, these are my top 30 greatest metal records of all time. Probably gonna film all these back to back so I could replace these into my shelf because it infuriates me when shit's out of order. Enough rambling. We're listening to Ranzi Pazuzu in the background. I'm gonna cut into it with number 30, Chainsaw Dismemberment by Mortician. I adore this fucking record. This is a perfect album for fall for me. I listen to this shit when October hits. This comes into my Halloween and fall playlist in the same way as the Misfits and Acid Witch do, and shit like that. Just this album, the atmosphere it creates is so destructive. Maybe is the word to look for. It's like the overly distorted bass is just such a ridiculous sounding thing that it just makes it sound unrealistic, which is great because that adds to the movie samples of which I learned a shitload about different horror movies from, also making it an amazing thing for the Halloween season. And I just fucking love how nasty, how grindy, and how aggressive the style is. There's no bullshit, no solos, fuck that. They're just straight in your face. We're gonna write some nasty songs about some fucking horror movies, and that's it. No shit, just good stuff. This whole album is fucking amazing. It's 28 tracks, and not one of them is filler. A great record. I love Mortician to death. I almost put Hacked Up for the Barbecue in here, but Chainsaw Dismemberment beat it out just by this fucking much. Love this fucking record. That's number 30. You're sitting on a conga drum currently, just so you know when you hear that. Number 29. This album I would have expected to be higher, but when it came down to splitting hairs pretty much about what's where, this wound up at the back of the list, which doesn't degrade it whatsoever. I just haven't spent as much time with it as I have other things. Pale Folklore by Agalloch. Now, what it takes for an album to be in my favorite area is it takes a real good atmosphere, and this is one that produces, especially, oh man, especially with tracks like Hallways of Enchanted Avenue. Holy fucking hell. This album reminds me of the fall. Seriously, fall and winter are my favorites, and albums that fit well into there have a much higher chance of being one of my favorites. This is just a great fucking record. This is brilliant atmospheres, beautiful soundscapes, and Agalloch is just brilliant. I mean, most people would think the Mantle's better. I like the Mantle and all. I also like Marrow the Spirit a lot. But for some reason, I've spent so much time with Pale Folklore, I like this more than all the other ones. Um, there's just something about that rawness that this album feeds on that I love so much. So 29, Agalloch, Pale Folklore. 28, again, expected this to be higher, but Summoning by Stronghold, or Stronghold by Summoning. I adore Summoning. Every record they've ever put out is amazing for me. Luxburg is perfect for my old school black metal playlist or whatever the fuck, and everything else is great for playing whatever, playing Skyrim, fucking walking through the woods, driving, whatever. This shit is amazing. This album, literally, because it sounds so unrealistic, it takes you out of this world and transports you to pretty much Middle Earth, I guess. But seriously, The Rotting Horse on the Deadly Ground is probably my favorite song that this band has ever made. and it's on this album. I prefer this substantially to Mina Smorgel, but I do love Mina Smorgel as well. But we're here to talk about Stronghold. So yeah, this album is just so immersive and ridiculous. It's unrealistic, and that's what I love Summoning for. So that is Stronghold by Summoning. Coming in at number 28. Number 27. I got into this really late. That's why it's down here. But this is Storm of the Light's Bane by Dissection. I waited way too long to listen to Dissection because everybody, when I first got into this whole metal YouTubing thing, which is the reason that I'm into black metal the way that I am, everybody was talking about this like, oh yeah, it's just a classic, it's amazing, it's everything. And I was like, okay, it's a classic, whatever, I don't even need to hear it. Which was my mistake entirely. And the song Night's Blood is by far my favorite track on here. I love this whole fucking record. John Nordvik, I don't know how to say his last name properly, but the neoclassical elements of this album is what really makes it, and the melodies help create this amazing atmosphere that's definitely in between, that really has a black metal feel, but with a death metal intricacy, and the attack is just amazing. It's just a great fucking record. 10 out of 10, you know very well. 27, Storm of the Light's Bane. 26, Rose to the North by Panopticon. Again, amazing fucking record. I guarantee you in more years this will creep its way higher up onto my list. And it's already on the top 30, so that's pretty good. This is my favorite Panopticon material, and it is just a great fucking record. Where Mountains Pierce the Sky is my favorite track on it, and it is just perfect. The melodies and the At the Gates influence is very obvious on this. I hear it a little bit in the other records too, but this one specifically has this really, really heavy At the Gates influence in my ears. I don't know if that's right or not, but it's just a fucking great record. Amazing, amazing, amazing record, and you should all go listen to this if you have not. Panopticon Rose to the North at 26. 25. Again, this will probably be in the top 10 as years go by. Echoes of Battle by Caladan Brood. Oh, fuck me, this album is so amazing. I like this more than any Summoning album, which is fucked up because most Summoning albums are at least an 8 out of 10 for me. But the clean vocals do it. Seriously, the clean vocals in this epic black metal style, it completes the soundscape. This is one of those albums you can't really talk about. It's a loss for words. This fucking record is amazing, man. This doesn't have the Summoning cover bonus track on it, which is beside me. I don't really care. It's just a great, great, great record. You guys have all heard this shit. Go listen to it now, please. At 25, Caladan Brood's Echoes of Battle. We're at number 24 here, and it is Woods of Ypres with Woods 4. I was in between this one and Woods 3 for my favorite, but this one means a lot more to me than that one does. I've had this a lot longer, and the album itself is just a great, great representation of what can be done when you're crossing genres. Two of my favorite genres of metal being doom and black metal combined into one amazing picture. This band takes out what I don't like about Typo Negative, which is a little bit of the overbearing goth elements, and adds black metal instead of goth. What the fuck would I not like about that? The songs on here are just amazing. By the time you read this, it's probably my favorite song on here. Obviously, Mount Pleasant Cemetery is amazing too, and Pain and Piss, stuff like that. I'm just a huge fan of this record. Like, in its entirety, this is one of my favorite records of all time, and that is Woods of Ypres at number 24. 23. This album holds a near and dear place in my heart because it is vocally one of my favorite records ever. This is Serpents Unleashed by Skeleton Witch. I know a lot of people wouldn't have expected this to be on the list for favorite records. At least I wouldn't expect to see this on anybody's favorite metal album list. But This shit is just so amazing. Uh, that is literally perfect. I didn't even realize I kept the hype sticker on here. A potent brew of everything that makes metal so brilliant and vital and special. You're damn right, Metal Hammer. Yeah, this shit is just amazing. Every song on here is catchier than fuck. It's melodic, it's heavy, it's thrashy, it's blackened, it's just so good. Chance Garnett's vocals are fucking amazing. Oh my god, this has like the dissection, melodicism, and the blackened tinge with the modern death metal production and influence. What's not to like? Oh, so good. This Evil Embrace is a great song. I Am of Death, From a Cloudless Sky, Serpents Unleashed, Beneath Dead Leaves, Burnt from Bones, probably my favorite song. But this whole album, 10 out of 10, fucking amazing record. Go listen to this shit now, please. Do yourself the favor. You know, that was 23, this is 22. I would have expected that one to beat this, but for some reason, this is it. This is 22. Oh man, this is a great record. This is Sunset on the Golden Age by Ailstorm. This album means a lot to me personally because it reminds me of lots of fun in my life. There has been a lot of good times that I've had where this album is played, and it's like it's a sing-along kind of record for me. Obviously, Drink is a song everybody knows, but the Taio Cruz on here, Taio Cruz cover, Hangover, hilarious, amazing, just such a well-rounded record. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of moments where I'm speechless on this list because I love all of these albums so much. This is jumpy, it's fun, and it's folk metal, power metal, whatever the fuck, brilliance. It's just a great record. And the vocalist behind this band, I think he's mostly the brains of the band too, vocalist and keyboard player. He's a big black metal fan, and you can kind of hear it in the keyboard stylings. Great record. All their shit's amazing. Just this one holds a near and dear place to my heart. So Ailstorm, Sunset on the Golden Age at 22. And 21. Convulsus World Without God. You will see other death metal albums higher on the all-time list than this. But this is my all-time favorite death metal record. Let me explain. This musically is my favorite death metal record ever. But the higher on this list is, the more personal attachments and emotional investment I have in the album. And it's not just the music. There's a multitude of things that go into being my favorite record of all time. And this record just doesn't have the emotional attachment as some of the other records that you'll see later in this list do. But musically speaking, this is my favorite death metal record of all time. It's heavy, it's groovy, it's doomy, the riffs are awesome, the production's amazing, the vocals are fucking disgusting. This whole thing is great. It only beat out a couple of records for certain reasons, and because it's my favorite death metal record. Now you will see several more death metal records, but this one is number, if I don't throw it all around like that, number 21. So that'd be it for this part, guys. I'm going to film the other two parts right after this, and I'm going to do a little bit more rambling about those. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 to this video, and keep it greasy. See you in the next one.